What's going on, everybody out there in Radio Land, all across the world? Once again, you are tuned into Throwback Thursdays and myself with the wonderful Miss Nikki Clarke. That's right. And we got a great show for you today, as usual. Wonderful guest coming on is going to be talking to us about water, as a matter of fact, but it gets deeper than just water, so make sure you stay tuned in. Also, don't forget to dial in to join the discussion or ask questions. The number to dial is 510-340-5396. And you talk to us and, just join the topics and discussions with us. And, I also think that we're going to have another special guest today, too. She likes to make a big interest, so I'm not going to say her name. Ain't that right, Nikki?
To tell you the truth, Nikki, don't about her business. This is Aunt Daisy. How you doing, Keith?
Hey, Aunt Daisy. I knew it. I knew you'd make that introduction. You must have sent Nikki on off.
Oh, Lord. All right?
Hey, I'm doing blessed, Aunt Daisy. I'm taking it easy and doing right, doing what I'm supposed to do. Everything's good. How about you? You behaving?
Everything blessed, everything blessed. What happened last week? Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I watched the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness! Did you win any money?
Yes, I put down $100 and till them lose. So it was a good night for me, Keith. Won the whole money, but
yeah,
they don't have no sense. They can't spell sense, You see me? So my team won, but
yeah.
See the thing that sweet me. Katy Perry.
Oh yeah.
Katy Perry, she pretty plus tops. We love her, obviously. But what I noticed is she can't dance to save her life. What you think?
Nah, she can't dance. She didn't really do too much dancing either, Aunt Daisy. But it was she put on a good show, though. I say the special effects was crazy.
With the firework thing, work out with the firework song, and it's alright. It was okay.
Yeah.
But I couldn't look how she really don't look like she fits to dancing still.
No, you right.
Janet Jackson had the Rhythm Nation. She is the Rhythmless Nation.
Yeah,
you see me?
yeah. Hey, but Aunt Daisy, did you see Missy Elliott up there though?
Oh my girl.
Yeah. Missy killed.
Yeah, she work it out, man.
Yeah.
I love Missy Elliott. Shout out to Missy Elliott. You have to call me.
Missy stole the show, as a matter of fact. Now.
Yeah. She was the surprise act, I think. But she was good.
Right.
Really nice show. Except Katie dancing, but everything was crisp.
Yeah, I think it was cool. I won a little bit of money on the Super Bowl myself, cause I bet.
How much you win?
I won about $100 too. I took it light. I don't bet too much, but somebody kept begging me to bet, so I said, okay, I'm gonna bet it then. And the Patriots won. I was glad. I knew they would win though. But you know what though, Aunt Daisy? I think it was a lot of politics too.
Hey man, there's whole heap of politics in the sports thing there.
Yeah.
Whole heap of politics.
Yeah.
Don't even think it is what you see.
Yeah.
Whole heap of stuff.
Yep.
There's games behind the game.
Yep.
You see me?
Yeah. What you got cooking for dinner today, Aunt Daisy?
Last week the curry goat burn up. I'm watching the Akian sausage real close right now because he can't throw away good food,
No.
Not?
No.
He can't throw away them things that the price of food too expensive.
You forgot about the curry goat last week. I know we put that dirty wine on and you forgot all about the curry goat.
Easy, you're trying the dirty wine, a sweet tune, and then we just go in one corner and then let the food burn up. It's your fault.
Oh man.
Your fault. Do you hear about Witness and Picnic?
Yeah.
With Christina?
Yeah, it's really sad. I don't know, but you know they found her face down in the bathtub, which was similar to the way her mom. They found her mom in the tub too. Real sad situation. Real sad.
It's the same situation. Whitney was in with 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly 3 years ago.
No man, don't be something.
Yeah, it is. And you know, they're not talking about what happened. I haven't heard exactly what went wrong, and so I guess they're keeping that hidden. But it's a sad situation, and you know, we send our condolences out to all of them because that's hard, very hard to deal with. Yeah.
That is very sad indeed.
Well, did you hear? I'm not sure if it's, you know, I'm not sure how accurate this info is, but supposedly today they decided that they were going to start saying their goodbyes, I guess, and take her off of whatever support that she's been on.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Because she's brain dead, right? So she's just on the life support right now.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
the whole thing is very sad. My heart just, go out to the family them, but
yeah.
But on a brighter note, I want to say thanks for sending me something that's sweet on my face. I went to a discotheque with my girlfriend Stella, and we catch more boyfriends on the weekend.
What?
You see, this thing you send me, this little box of instantly ageless. Oh Lord, I put it on my face, put it on my lines, my wrinkles on my face. It just disappeared. I got from 80 to 60 in 10 minutes.
What? Oh
Thank you, Keith.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you. I love you like cook food.
And you know what? That stuff works amazingly too, Aunt Daisy. I mean, it works amazing in no time, and you put it on, and just in minutes you feel years younger, and it lasts for a long time too.
It lasts for 8 hours, and the thing, I say, wow.
Yep.
Stella say, whoa. The man them say, whoa. When they look on me.
Hey.
I love it. The next thing I'm going to try with this thing, what's the name of the company? Jonas Global.
Yeah.
Is the Zen Body Fit. Because I want to come down. I'm going to Jamaica in April. I want to take off about 30 pounds. And this thing is incredible because it's natural. Because me, I am organically grown. You see me? I'm a natural ITAL woman.
Right.
The natural ingredients and the appetite suppressant all together. 30 pounds will drop off you.
Right, in no time at all. I think everybody needs to try this. You know what I mean? Everybody needs to find out where to get it from, Aunt Daisy, because it's gonna help. It's gonna help so many people, and you're gonna use
many people improve the way they look, and if you look good, you feel good. You see me?
Exactly. And they need to get it while it's still, fresh and brand new. I was amazed. Listen, I had to send it to you because when I found out about it and I looked at it, I said, oh my goodness. I said, as much as Aunt Daisy stays trying to look good, trying to let off the pounds, and with all those boyfriends, look, I know you wanted to look different for the boyfriends too.
Boyfriend every day,
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we take a break and go to church.
And
but we have holy man.
And then that help you to not get caught either. Because then if you look different than you did the day before, then they wouldn't know it was you.
It's true. It takes about 10 years every other day.
Yep.
So by the time I reach my Saturday boyfriend, I have 40.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
You know what? And you know what? Let me ask you too, Aunt Daisy. I know that you can rub that on your face, but where else can you put it on, like your arms and other parts too? Does it work everywhere for you?
You can put it on any place you have a wrinkle.
Oh.
I even put it on my thighs.
Oh man. Wow. You didn't have too many.
I'll send you the before and after picture.
Hey, Private message me that one, Aunt Daisy.
Okay, I know you have a wife. I don't want to get her,
No, but I don't want all your jealous boyfriends calling me. Talk about what you say you're doing a picture of Aunt Daisy.
No, I'm not sexting. Sending sex pictures. It's just business. I want to show you the before and after for, people to understand how this thing can really transform your life. Mm-hmm. And you can make some good money from it too. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's true, because it's a good market, and people. So how does that work? People can bring in people as well to get it from them also, right?
Right. You can buy the product, and you can bring people in and nurture them and educate them so that they can bring in and recruit people to offer the same kind of value to other people and improve their lives. It's a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
Win-win situation, isn't it?
Yep. Because you can look good, you can make an extra $1 and all of that. But I don't know. And then you could get like Aunt Daisy. You can be dropping it.
And I can be a spokesmodel.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my t-shirt, 80 and sexy. I don't know what happened to the man in Toronto. What's his name? Alistair and Tracy. It's taking so long.
Yeah, they said
it. How long I'm waiting for that shirt?
We gotta hit them up. I told him you was looking for him too, so I don't know.
Remind him.
I am. I'm gonna
remind him. I want that shirt.
I'm gonna hit him up and make sure he do that. Oh yeah, you know what? Because he's supposed to be making us some T-shirts for the show too. Yeah, he's supposed to.
Alright, well.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Keith. Make it happen.
I will. I'm gonna do it.
So we have a really nice show with a really nice lady. Her name is Ella Strange, and they call her the Kangen Water lady. And as you were saying, she's gonna talk about water.
Right.
I like water.
Yeah, water's good for you. Look, Aunt Daisy, I've been drinking so much water the last couple days, and it's crazy because the last 3-4 days I've been drinking tons of water, and now all of a sudden she's about to come on here and tell me and tell us about how we should be drinking some different water. So I'm listening.
The water I'm drinking right now might be not the right type of water.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we have a really nice music playlist. Yes. So we can play local music, and then when Nikki comes back, she's going to have the interview with Ida Strange.
All right, that sounds good. Aunt Daisy, look, Aunt Daisy, I love you as usual. Make sure that Aki and Sawfish. Look, I'm not gonna play Dirty Wine today. I'm gonna play something else because I need you to stay focused back there.
Yeah, take it easy on me. Take it easy on me.
All right.
Play nice. Put on something soft and easy for me.
All right. Hey, you listen. Well, okay. You listen to Def. No, you be dancing to Def Leppard too if I put that on, because you know everything. You know all the good songs, all the good throwbacks. You know them all. So.
Def Leppard, which one?
Fooling.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
All right, put it on. And I'm just gonna stand over this stove to make sure the thing don't burn. But I'm gonna get a little dance.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Aunt Daisy. I love you. I'll talk to you soon, Auntie.
Love you too. All right.
All right. All across the land, once again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in today to Throwback Thursdays with myself, Keith Harris, and the one and only Nikki Clarke. Of course, we just spoke to Aunt Daisy, and she's doing good, cooking ackee and sawfish in the kitchen. And
she didn't embarrass me again, did she? What did she say?
Nah. Aunt Daisy kept it really serious today. As a matter of fact, she didn't
say anything rude, did she?
No.
I have to apologize to you this week.
Nah, she was really calmed down this week. We was just talking about some current events and things like that. She kept it decent. Talked about going to church on Sunday and everything.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, I'm really excited about chatting with a good friend of mine, Heather Strange, internationally known as the Kangen Water Lady.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to have you on the show with us. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be on the show, Keith and Nikki, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to spread this important message.
Hey, look.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yes, an honor to have
delighted to be here.
Absolutely.
So excited.
So
excited.
So where did this journey and the idea of Kangen Water come from?
Well, I can tell you where my journey started. I worked with a chef, and I'm going back about 8 years ago now, and she had very deformed hands, which is not uncommon for chefs, as a result of arthritis. And the joints were quite deformed, and I had two dear friends that suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, deformed joints for probably over 20 years on prednisones and steroids. So as we were doing the chopping in the kitchen, I looked at her hands and I said, "You must be in a lot of pain." And she said, "No." And I said, "Okay, so you need to tell me about that." And she said, "I drink Kangen water." And that's when my journey started. And then a couple of years ago, just over a couple of years ago actually, a friend reintroduced me to Kangen water. And in the interim, from the time I worked with that raw food chef on the weekend to the second introduction, I just went on my own water journey to study all of the various waters that are out there, reverse osmosis, distilled, how to make your own alkaline water. Heck, I even imported water off the coast of Miami Beach just to remineralize water. It's quite an experiment. you don't end up with a last name like Strange for no reason at all. You know? It doesn't happen by accident. Right. But anyway, the second time I was introduced, I thought to myself, after having done all the research, it's time. And that's when I started my Kangen water business.
Oh.
And I've never looked back. It's one of the most exciting journeys I've ever taken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What does Kangen mean in Japanese?
Oh, good question. So Kangen translated into English means return to origin. And what they're referring to, the company that manufactures Kangen water machines, what they're referring to is returning water back to the way Mother Nature intended it to be.
Okay.
Because the water that we drink today does not in any way resemble water the way you find it in Mother Nature.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely serious.
So
Sure.
it's altered drinking water that I'm sipping on right now.
It's totally, it's just totally not resembling anything remotely like what you find out there, in remote areas. I traveled many years ago through Yugoslavia and drove down the mountain range between Albania and Yugoslavia. And it was the month of May when I did it, so the glacial streams were melting. And they were the most gorgeous colored jade you've ever seen. But that water and waters in places like that very much resemble the properties that you find in Kangen water.
Okay.
And that's the way Mother Nature intended it to be.
Wow.
Okay. And that's what makes the water so special.
Exactly. And that's why the body recognizes it, Nikki and Keith, as something that is natural, and that's the main reason why it responds, which we'll talk about later, in such a positive way when the body is hydrated with this type of water.
I want to ask a scary question for a second, but it's in all honesty. So you hear people talk about spring water and natural water and things of that nature, and people in everyday modern society in your cities and my cities, look, we think that water is the best thing for us to drink every day, and I'm sure it is. But here's the question. So do you mean to tell me, Heather, that people who have been drinking water, even say in younger generations, have never really tasted the true essence of what real water is?
In my opinion, yes.
Wow.
And, I'll address a point earlier on in that question where you talk about the importance of drinking water. So here's the thing with our body. We live in a fish tank. Your muscles are 72% water. I think the brain is over 80%. Your kidneys are 86%. The body itself is, depending on whether you're female, and I've seen some numbers bandied around, 55 to 65%. So we're just like a fish in an aquarium. So if that water is totally polluted or not the proper level of pH, you're not going to be living at the optimum level of health for you. Okay. And so, it is really important to drink the right water and drink the amount that you need to drink and drink it when you need to drink it, which we can talk about later on.
Well, let's talk about how much water you should be drinking and when.
Okay, so that's great, because that's where I'd like to start. So, how much water should you be drinking? About half an ounce per pound of water, body weight.
Okay.
And I tell people that with Kangen water, a minimum of 2 to 3 liters a day. And you probably think when I say that sounds like an awful lot of water. But it really isn't, because this water, when it goes into your stomach, feels totally different than any other water you'll drink.
And I can testify to that, because I've had it. It's delicious.
Yeah, it goes into the stomach within about 1 to 2 minutes, it's gone. And so you can drink the volume that you need, first of all, because it just tastes beautiful and smooth, but also because it just dissipates. And right from the time you put it in your mouth, the time it goes down to the esophagus, even before it hits the stomach, it's already starting to integrate and hydrate.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so let's go back to what you were alluding to about the pH alkaline level of our bodies. What's the importance, and what should we do to keep that balance?
Okay, so our body's natural pH state, or natural pH value, is 7.4 pH. And the pH scale is a scale that starts at 1, goes to 14. 7 is neutral, and anything less than 7 is highly acidic. Anything higher than 7 is alkaline. Okay. So here's the important thing. Most people's body is not naturally in that 7.4 pH value. There's a very, very narrow window between 6.8 and 7.4. 6.8 is acidic, 7.4 is alkaline. Most people's body is in an acidic state. We call it acid overload. And you're going to hear more and more about this as time goes by. It's going to become significantly higher in profile, and the importance of staying in a proper pH balanced body state. Now, what contributes to that acidity? Stress is highly acidic. Most people don't even think about that. And meats and grains, acidic. But the big offenders are hops, in my opinion. They're very acidic. Even things that you think may be healthy, like ginger ale or the white hops, the Sprite, are very acidic.
What about the Perrier water?
Perrier water is
carbonated
water. Exactly, Nikki. As soon as you inject that with a CO2 gas to take it to a pop-like state, it becomes as bad as Coke in terms of its pH value. It's very acidic. And let's talk about bottled waters that are on the market, because many of them are acidic. The Dasani and the Aquafinas are reverse osmosis water, and they're still very popular. They're as acidic as Coke.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
That's really shocking.
Yeah, it is surprising. And then many people, when I do a live demo, get really taken by surprise when they see that it turns the same color as tested Sprite.
Whoa.
Yeah. They may as well be drinking pop.
Wow.
And I call those the new pops. They're owned by, I think one's owned by Pepsi, one's owned by Coke. And as we all know, in North America, there's an eroding pop market, people are starting to catch on to the dangers of drinking pop as a main form of hydration. So they're moving away from that. So the bottled water, or the pop companies, Coke and Pepsi now, have bought out Aquafina and Dasani, and to keep their bottom line sharp.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
So even other bottled waters you have to be cautious of, because many of them are acidic as well.
What are some of the signs of acid overload in the body?
Okay, so that's a good question. So there are many what I call indicators of acid overload, and acid reflux is one of them.
Okay.
Many people in North America suffer from acid reflux, joint issues, arthritis, even diabetes can be acid overload. In fact, I think many illnesses out there today, or most of them, can be attributed to acid overload in the body. And if they just simply change the water that they're drinking to a restructured water, which is what Kangen Water is known by in the science areas, they will find, some of them will find improvement, and many do. I mean, this water has been used in hospitals in Japan for over 30 years, and so for listeners today, if you Google hospitals in Japan, you'll find very graphic visuals on Kangen water being used to clear skin disorders, psoriasis, eczema, acne. Change the water, it just disappeared.
Wow. Can we talk about some of the health benefits that you've seen in others as a result of them going on Kangen water?
Certainly. Yeah, I've had many people receive the health benefits. I'll talk about my own first, though. I first went on Kangen water and decided to change my water for hydration because I was just going through menopause, and I was noticing a lower energy, poor sleep, REM sleep in particular, stiffness, aching joints. And so I bought a machine essentially to take care of that. I bought a machine to take care of that, and I've noticed that my energy has doubled. I've turned 60 in April.
You look fabulous, by the way. When you told me you were 60, I almost passed out. You're looking great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki. That's so sweet.
Absolutely.
But I noticed my energy has doubled. My workouts, in terms of recovery, it's faster. I can have a really aggressive workout and feel little or nothing in terms of stiffness the next day. I noticed the joint issues that I had in terms of sensitivity, aching joints, all that kind of stuff as you get over 50. That's gone completely. And the big thing is brain clarity. I've noticed that my brain is sharper now than it ever was in my 40s, and I know that's just because of proper hydration. And there's a specialist called Dr. Corey now, and she is a brain specialist. She has a brain clinic in the U.S. She lectures all over the U.S. And her brain clinic treats ADD, Alzheimer's, all kinds of what we consider to be sort of brain issues. But in her lectures, one of the main things she focuses on is drinking Kangen water, because she uses it in her brain clinic in the U.S. as part of her business medical model. And she talks about the importance of making sure your brain is hydrated properly and using Kangen water. Because Kangen water oxygenates the body. The microclustering, it has three properties, essentially, that make it so unique. It's high alkaline, and around 9.5 for adults, and teenagers 9.0, and pets, by the way, have the same benefits as everybody else. But babies start at 8.5. And by the way, babies are born alkaline. And so because of the three properties, the alkalinity, the ionization in the water, and the microclustering, it just gets totally absorbed into the body and the brain, and keeps it hydrated and plump and healthy.
Yeah, and
that's fantastic.
Yeah. In the area, and speaking back in the area of age, assuming that Kangen water is good for children and babies to be able to even start drinking at an early age, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I listened to a Dr. Wang lecture here in Toronto back in September, and one of the main questions I asked him was what changes or differences do you see in pregnant moms who are going through their pregnancy drinking Kangen water? And Dr. Wang, by the way, is an immunologist, but he also practices, has a general practice. He commutes between Toronto and mainland China and teaches at universities there. And he said to me, Heather, when a pregnant mother is hydrating with Kangen water before delivery, the deliveries, in his experience, were easier. The color
I should have been drinking it with my kids. Oh, yeah, you have.
No, you both would have been a faster delivery. But the color of the baby was better because the water oxygenates the body. The texture of the skin was better as well upon birth.
Oh, wow.
Usually the texture of the baby's skin upon birth can be not so great. But if they're, basically it's a bit of a fishbowl that the fetus is living in prior to birth. So it makes perfect sense that if that is a healthy, high alkaline with the three properties like Kangen, the baby's going to be healthier. But here's the big thing for kids, though, and babies. Because Kangen water can help to keep the immune system strong, they suffer less from cold, less from flu. And the other factor to think about is that most babies end up with eczema.
Right.
I'm sure you may be familiar with this, Nikki. They don't get eczema because I've treated a number of babies now that have come newborn, and most of them end up with eczema because allergies are passed on through mother's milk. But if I start the mother drinking Kangen water and the young baby drinking water as well, it can be gone within a month in some cases.
Oh, wow.
No need for cortisone creams or heavy-duty drugs. None of that.
Yeah, and that's a big issue. Like you guys say, a lot of babies deal with that, too.
They do. And I hate to see them starting on heavy creams because some of the eczema can be actually quite disruptive. I mean, they can end up scratching themselves throughout the night, and it can be very, very uncomfortable for the little ones. So,
well, the skin absorbs all these chemicals, and which goes right into their bloodstream and organs. So that can be quite serious.
Absolutely. So, and kids love it. I mean, kids just take to this water, and so do pets, by the way. Pets adore the water. So here's a funny story. You put 2 bowls of water down on the floor for a dog or a cat, and interestingly enough, they automatically migrate to the Kangen water.
Oh, wow. I've got to try that.
You don't need to think of it.
I've got to try that because
you put it to the test with Rover, Keith.
I need to because my pets are drinking anything, so I definitely got to try that.
Yeah, because the cats and the dogs and even horses are on it. They don't need to think about it.
Yeah.
They just go strictly by smell.
Right.
And in fact, there's a vet in the United States who also lectures. His name is Dr. Tim Crow. You just Google him. He actually uses it in clinic.
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Are there different types of machines available? And what's the biggest difference between the machines?
Yeah, there are. There's about 5 different models. But the big factor to take into consideration when you're looking at the different models is what drives the strength or the power of the water. So the Kangen water machines have a filter like everybody else. But the magic is in the 7 titanium double platinum dip plate. So when the water runs over that, it picks up the electrical charge, splits the water, and creates these 3 unique properties, the alkalinity, the ionization, and the microclustering. But the size of those plates are what dictate, and the number of plates are what dictate how powerful the strength of the water is, and ultimately the results that you will get. So the machine started around 1400, and that's a travel unit. Many people today, and this is a new trend, are actually traveling with their machines wherever they go. They don't want to be drinking just any water. And many people, once they start drinking Kangen water, we have an expression which says we all develop a drinking problem because we only want to be drinking Kangen water and we want to be drinking it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. So the machines start at 1,400, that's just answering your question, and they go up to about 5,000. The one I have here is similar to the one that they've used in the hospitals in Japan, and it's around $4,000. And it's a very powerful machine. I've seen some amazing things. Acid reflux gone in a week. Acne, eczema gone in about a month or 6 weeks. It's just an incredible piece of equipment. And also, your audience should know that it's a certified medical grade device.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And take what you know about water, leave it at the front door today, folks, because this has nothing to do with water as you have ever known it.
Yeah, it sounds totally out of the box, like a lot different.
Well, it was. I'll tell you from my experience when Heather came to do the live taping, and Heather gave samples to the audience. They're even going after my samples. I mean, they were just like, they couldn't be satisfied with it. They were gulping it down. It was that good. And how I can describe it, it's just a silky smooth taste to it. And I unbelievably good. And I felt better. I had like so much energy, kick in after a few hours of drinking it. And I truly felt hydrated. So I need a refill. But the people out there listening who'd like to get, a free water trial or to know more about promotional offers, how can they get in touch with you, Heather?
Yeah, absolutely. I do offer free trials, and I do that because the best way to understand Kangen water is to drink it, I always say. So, I'm available. Just pick up the phone and dial my number, 416-913-0485. We do have promotional offers available, so if you have a reverse osmosis system or some other device that you're interested in possible trade-ins on,
I have a Brita filter. Will you trade that in?
We really have to do something about that, Nikki. But the promotional offers are available as well. And I do have regular events every Wednesday night at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And just contact me to register for the event and location details. My website is www.kangenwaterrevolution.com. I'm on Facebook under Heather W. Strange. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got a very strong online presence as the Kangen Water Lady. My face will always come up when you Google that. Okay. Yeah, and I can also be reached at heather@hhkitchen.ca. So, and I'm on Skype because I Skype all over the world. I was talking to people in India actually about the water in Mumbai, and as well in Johannesburg about a year and a half ago, just outside of Johannesburg, close to game reserves. So,
wow,
that's amazing. So you're definitely accessible, and I'm really, imploring to people to really look into this, to change the way they look at water, and the proof is in the pudding. When you try the water, you're going to be a convert.
Yeah.
I was. So,
yeah. And next time I see you, I'll make sure I bring more jugs for you, and I'll try and protect them as best I can.
They were dipping into my water. I needed a security guard for my water that night.
Well, I was your security guard.
Yes, you were.
Funny, but you should also know as an audience there's business opportunities available with the water. So, multiple income streams, residual income streams is the way to go today. You can't just rely on one source of income because there is no such thing as security in the corporate environment today. Mm-hmm. So I say to people, think about the biz opportunities, because in the Strange family, I just said to my sisters, okay, ladies, you've got to see this demo. Because for people you know and love and care about, you want them to have good health, and you want them to drink this water too. So it just sort of happens organically. And so now all the Strange ladies, as we call them, drink Kangen water. And so, the business sort of happens on its own.
Right.
And people believe through you because you're walking, testament to it. Your skin is immaculate. I would not even imagine that you are the age that you said you were, and just your energy level and everything. So you really just are proof of living right. And I know many people want to do the right thing. So, well, that's just the next step.
Yeah, well, the expression that we use in the world of Kangen water machines is change your water, change your life. And it truly does change your life. It changed mine significantly, not just from a health perspective, but, in many, many other areas. It's just been such a positive impact. And the biggest thing for me is, yes, it is my business. And, yes, there is a commission structure and, as a result of selling these machines, but here's the real commission for me. The commission for me and the payoff is seeing people get well. Yes.
Yeah.
So when I see, we had 2 people that were involved with, had brain tumors, and when I see, people with serious illnesses or minor illnesses start to turn things around as a result of changing their water, to me, that's a reward.
Yeah, that was something too that I wanted all the listeners out there to also take in once more and understand that what Heather's talking about is not just simply about drinking water and just purifying your system, because you hear that conversation all the time. But like she just pointed out, this water is making dramatic changes in people's lives who are facing deadly sicknesses, such as diabetes.
I mean, brain tumors, that is severe.
Right.
Yeah. But know this, though, the water heals nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the water through hydration and the detox of acidity at the cellular level allows the body to heal itself, which is a foreign concept in North America. Everybody else around the rest of the world knows this.
Right.
But for some reason in North America, we don't understand the concept that the body has an incredible power to heal itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I believe that.
Yeah, and I think, I think too, and not to take anything away from our societies and where we live, but I just think that we spend so much time on the go that, a lot of times we're not paying attention to things, and we're just looking for those quick fixes, and we're not studying the details. And it's important to do that, So even if they don't realize the breakdown of which hopefully they will, but even if they don't realize the breakdown, I guess that's why it's good for them to understand in simplistic forms just how important that this water is, that Kangen is to drink and get in their systems.
Yeah, and you make a valid point. I mean, life is really busy today. And unfortunately, some people actually pick up the phone and call the Kangen Water lady when they're in what I call a health crisis. Wow. My goal is to get, and thanks to both you and Nikki, I'm so grateful, because my goal here is to get the message out to people so they can be proactive about their health today. Not wait until there's a health crisis, because I'll tell you something. It's a heck of a big ship to turn around once you've been diagnosed with a serious illness.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this was preventative, definitely.
Totally, Nikki. Totally. And I don't know if either of you caught Ty Bollinger's series that was released this fall. He did a documentary where he interviewed scientists, doctors, and testimonials from people taking a natural approach around the world to healing cancer. Mm-hmm. But he, out of this 11-episode series, number 4 talked about being proactive with restructured water hydration, which is what Kangen water is. He doesn't use any branding in his documentary, but he does talk about being proactive by hydrating with restructured water in episode 4. And Kangen water is restructured water.
Okay. Now, forgive me for asking such a simple-minded question, but I think it's an important question for all our listeners out there to kind of understand and know. Now, when they purchase the machine, is the water already, like, is this water, does the water come with the purchase, or is it the machine and then they can put their own water in it and then it does its trick? Or
Great question, Keith. So it's really simple. Once you've bought the machine, you bring it into your home and you hook it up to your water tap in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then there's a little diverter that simply diverts the water in through a hose that goes through the machine.
Okay.
And then the machine will produce the water through its alkaline hose. Actually, it has two hoses, because when the water gets diverted from the tap into the machine technology splits the water into an alkaline hose and an acidic hose. And so the machine is totally audio-based, so it talks to you. You simply press a button to get the level of drinking of pH water that you want. But know that the machine produces 7 different types of water.
Oh, wow.
Three of which are for drinking. One which is clean water, which you use to take your pharmaceutical drugs, because you can't take pharmaceutical drugs with alkaline water. But then there's what I call an anti-aging beauty water, which is the same pH as your skin, 6.0. And this is the water I use to help clear eczema, psoriasis, and acne. And I wash my skin with nothing else other than this anti-aging beauty water. And then there's 2 other waters, which are what we call the strong acidic water and the strong alkaline water. And my entire home is green cleaned with these waters.
Wow. You know, that is amazing. I'm glad I actually asked that question, because that right there speaks volumes. And listen, the fact that you can use your own water and turn it into this to this even better water is saving mass amounts of money compared to trying to go to the grocery store and buy this stuff.
So true. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the average person spends, and I'm not talking the cost of cleaning in business, but I'm talking cleaning chemicals. The average person spends between $300 and over $1,000 a year.
Oh.
So I say to the and versus Kangen Water, Kangen Water cost is about 5 cents a gallon.
Oh, wow.
And bottled water, by the way, the cost of bottled water is about $1.50 a gallon. So if you just do the math on that over the next 10 years, you've already bought a few machines, depending on which model you buy.
In a short amount of time, exactly.
In a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And not to mention the eco-friendly benefit, too, because of all the water bottles that are not being used and not being, thrown away. So that's a good point, too.
Thank you, Nikki. And I say to people, be kind to Mother Earth, because there's a legacy that you're leaving behind for generations behind us. Mm-hmm. And I sure would like to leave it in as healthy a state as I can. And so, you've done all the research and the reading on, how empty bottles of plastic are showing up on remote islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and and with Kangen water machines, you're just refilling a bottle. You're not buying bottles of water.
You're not buying bottles.
No, bottled water we consider to be dead anyway. This Kangen water is living, which means that it only lasts a couple of days with those 3 unique properties. And so this is why we don't bottle Kangen water, because it's living, natural.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, it's living, and you can see this when you pour a glass. So exciting. When you pour a glass of Kangen water, the ionization you can actually see in the form of tiny bubbles in the glass. And it looks a bit cloudy. So those tiny bubbles are completely gone after 2 days, but those tiny bubbles are where the power is in the water. Okay. The main power in the water. And so it's kind of cloudy when it's poured, but then it goes crystal clear from the bottom up, literally within seconds from the time of the glass being filled. Very exciting. I get excited about it anyway.
Look, you guys.
We should all get excited.
I was getting ready to say. I was just getting ready to say, you all have had the water. I'm going to have to get me some of that water. I'm excited hearing about it.
Well, listen, Keith. You just stay in one place long enough, and I'll get the water to you.
All right.
I'll find a way for you to get on a trial so you can, feel and taste the difference for yourself. You'll never go back.
Well, you know what?
You'll never go
If you want to see the interview too of Heather and I when we had the interview, that was December 17th, my birthday show. It's a very visual piece in which the popular waters and teas and colas are measured against the Kangen water, and you'll see the actual alkaline and the acidity level. You'll see the color change, and it's quite amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the kind of education that has a visual component to it, and so I do demonstrations on a regular basis where I line up every single bottled water on the market today, and then I just go through with regular fish tank drops, and I put a couple of drops in glasses of each of the bottles to show you exactly what the alkaline level is in each beverage. It's very educational. Very educational, and the visual aspect is just terrific.
Definitely. Heather, where can people contact you again? Just remind them.
Yeah, absolutely. 416-913-0485 is my cell. On Skype, anybody, I welcome you to connect with me. My Skype address is Faith and Hope 23. You can contact me through my website, which is www.kangenwaterrevolution.com. I invite you to join me on Facebook. I'm under Heather W. Strange, or reach out. I'm an open networker on LinkedIn, have very strong business presence there. And what else? My email at heather@hhkitchen.ca.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
I wish you all had this conversation with me 2 weeks ago. Like I was telling you, Nikki, before I went on my water drinking binge, for the last so long, I've been drinking like just plenties of water. Like I've been drinking, I don't know, like almost, I'd say over 2 liters a day of water. And now it's like, I feel like I just put all this bad stuff in my body.
Well, we got to get you the right stuff.
Yeah,
we'll get you the right stuff, Case.
Yeah, we'll get you the right stuff.
Just when
then I want you drinking 4 liters a day, not 2.
Okay, I could. Whoa, all right. But you know what? As long as it's not going to make my, I know that's a lot, but as long as you guys say like it will not have me walk around with the pot belly like the other did,
no,
so I'm with it.
Absolutely not. No burping. It's called the swish. So when you drink regular water, you get what you call the swish. This is what we call it anyway. And so you burp, you bloat, your tummy gets extended. But with Kangen water, you don't feel a thing.
Oh,
you just don't feel a thing.
That's so good.
Yeah, all right. So
okay, well, Heather, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for edifying us on the Kangen Water Way, and I'm sure you're going to have a number of people following your movement as I am. So thank you again for your time.
Well, thank you, and bless both of you for allowing me and giving me the honor to speak to your audience today. I'm so grateful to be here and consider myself so lucky to know both of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're very glad to have you also, because people all over the world, this is important and they needed to know about it. So thank you very much, Heather Strange.
Life is about being of service to others, Keith.
That's right.
So that's all I'm doing.
That's right. Everybody out there all across the globe, you've been listening to Throwback Thursdays with myself, Keith Harris, Nikki Clarke, and Heather Strange of Kangen Water. Make sure you get in touch with her. Contact her. Call her on the phone number. You can Skype her, as she said, at Faith and Hope 23. And also go to www.kangenwaterrevolution.com. If I'm right, Heather?
That's it exactly, Keith. Thank you.
Yeah, and the phone number one more time is 416-913. What else, Heather?
416-913-0485.
That's it. So get in touch. Get your systems cleaned out. Give yourself a long, healthier life, and help preserve our just Earth as well. Save some of those plastic bottles and stuff like that. Heather, it's been a pleasure, and we will be talking to you again soon.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you so much, Nikki. The pleasure was mine.
Right. Bye-bye.
You're very welcome. All right. Bye, Heather.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You are listening to Throwback Thursdays right here with myself, Keith Harris, and Nikki Clarke. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. All right. Once again, that was Heather Strange of Kangen Water. Wonderful information that we found out right there. Let's make sure we check her out. Get those systems. You'll save a lot of money. Okay. Opposed to going to stores and buying just cases and cases of water. I didn't know. All this time I thought that I was doing the right thing. But you know, you learn something new every day. All right. So get involved. It's a big deal. All right. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right